Now, Halo 4 has finally been released to PC, but that, of course, with it brings a whole host of bugs and issues, both to the PC and the Xbox family console versions as well. In today's video, we're going to be covering 38 known issues, some specific to Halo 4 and some globally known issues across all titles. So let's go ahead and take a look. With the user interface, this of course is across the UI, and this is for all versions of the game. Some saved content may be lost when updating to the new build of the game. You want to go ahead and check out the Halo support site for additional information, and I will have the link for that here in the description. On PC, the game may freeze if the Quit to Desktop button is pressed shortly after loading the main menu. When playing with mouse and keyboard on PC, the open text chat function does not work when bound to WAS or D. The scrolling down to the roster window with the controller sometimes results in profiles being skipped. Gamepad settings do not revert to default when using Restore to Default Settings as a guest or secondary profile on Xbox. On the PC, the prompt for setting a keybind cannot be closed by pressing the Escape key. Changing the window mode in settings may result in the game switching to another screen in multi-monitor PC setups. When the game is set to display on a secondary monitor, the resolution settings option may display an incorrect value when the game is rendering on the desired resolution. In borderless window mode on PC, using the in-game settings menu to switch to the secondary monitor and reduce the resolution scale to 75% or below causes the game to render at an unusual size and buttons become non-functional. The game may crash if the monitor option in the video tab of the settings menu is set to a secondary monitor that is no longer connected to the PC. Buttons in the help bar under the network settings will not function when pressing the refresh pings until the highlight another option menu or switching to different pages. Scrolling through the list of servers will not work as expected after selecting the refresh pings button in the network tab of the settings menu. No messages appear under the server list when the network is in performance is poor, and when trying to save as file game types and or maps for titles you do not own, they will appear to be corrupted upon restarting the Master Chief Collection. Now, when it comes to the gameplay, when changing the D-pad and buttons gamepad options during the gameplay on PC, the push-to-talk binding will always revert to down on the directional pad. And when changing the D-pad buttons gamepad options during gameplay on the Xbox, the push-to-talk binding will not update to the newly selected option. The push-to-talk voice chat option will remain active if the bound key or is held down while pausing the game. And on the Xbox Series consoles, increasing the gamma option above 5 may result in oversaturation of darker areas in the menus and gameplay. Now, moving on to the Halo 4 known issues. This was updated as of November 17th, 2020, and these are active issues for Halo 4 and the user build right now. With the user interface on PC, the texture filtering graphics options does not impact the in-game visuals. The emblem decal appears incorrectly on the Spartan model for the armor customization menu. The Covenant carbine will appear to flicker or flip when starting a sprint. When playing with the field of view value higher than 78, the beam from the Spartan laser will not line up with the weapon's barrel. The light sources throughout the title have higher than intended bloom effect. Gameplay will not be visible when playing on a PC with an Intel HD, UHD, or Iris graphics card. When playing on PC with a frame rate above 60 FPS, the window to activate toggle crouch is smaller than intended. Now, when it comes to the campaign, the outro cinematic of the Mission Reclaimer does not display the intended lighting. Several cutscenes throughout the game do not display full letterboxing in the following aspect ratios: 16:10, 5:4, 4:3, and 3:2, and any other custom window aspect ratio. Incidental chatter from allies is not localized. Player movement may be hindered as a result of the player getting stuck around the grav lift inside the Covenant deployment lockers outside of the lockout towers. The glowing visual effect on the Promethean weapons may disappear or move from their intended locations when reverting to a previous checkpoint. When viewing a terminal video in the co-op sessions, the game will continue to react to input and play audio. The Reclaimer mission stops loading, or areas of the map are not visible with full keyboard and mouse. Now, when it comes to multiplayer, the field of view seen while performing an assassination or using an armor ability is tied to the vehicle field of view settings. With Spartan Ops, the audio in the episodes does not parody with the original game, and the scattered episode ends prematurely. On restarting a mission mid-game, various objects and characters may have incorrect textures or lighting applied to them. With Forge, the trait zone properties options cannot be changed when clicked with a mouse. However, the arrow keys on the keyboard will work as expected. When playing with a gamepad and the frame rate above 60 FPS, the toggle rotation axis options has a short window in which it can be activated. And in theater, films are capped at 60 FPS even when the unlimited frame rate option is enabled. So as you can see, there's still plenty of things to be worked on when it comes to the MCC on both the PC and the Xbox. It's going to be interesting to see the development for the Xbox Series consoles and what features and things they can add to that as well. And hopefully it doesn't take them too long to bring missing features to the Xbox One version as well. I will expect them, of course, to be coming in future updates and for them to continue development and bug squashing on the game as a whole. But as always, in order to be part of the conversation and have your voice heard, hit that subscribe button and let me know if you guys have encountered any of these issues in the comments section down below. If you guys are new around here, check out some of my previous videos. I upload content weekly. And don't forget to check out the links in the description, as I've got my social media, and of course support for the channel is there as well. But until next time, everyone, thank you all for joining me here today, and I'll see all of you in the next video.